And we're live.
30 seconds is a long time when you gotta wait for it to be quiet. In fact, it's such a long time that my kid can't manage it.
Oh, of course.
Sometimes I'm gonna sound like a horrible parent here. Sometimes, at her request, we try and play the quiet game.
Oh,
because I introduced it when she just like would not be quiet. I'm like, let's try and play the quiet game, right? And then like, she can last about 30 seconds, but usually I'm like, it's less than a minute. I'm just like, all right, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway, her request. Some people's like, Dada, let's play the quiet game. I'm like, okay, deal.
Yeah, just show her that Emily Blunt movie where if you make any noise, demons attack you. Yeah.
I'm not going to scar my child that badly, right?
You must be quiet.
I don't know, man.
And
like
they're playing Monopoly with felt pieces. I hate that movie. I think it's such a stupid idea. But they're making like 3. I think there's a 3rd one coming out.
Oh, really? Doesn't the second one have the guy from The Office in it?
Oh, he was in the first one.
I
think he, spoilers, dies in the first one.
Oh, well, I might watch it then. Okay.
Yeah. And I think Cillian Murphy is in the second one. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch any of them, but I know it's the quiet gimmick.
Be quiet.
Brutal. But hey, Calarian and Matt are in the chat.
People in the chat. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Perhaps I never left from last night's stream.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we've been here the whole time.
That's why I look
Just
terrible.
changed our shirts. Yes, we're doing some...
I didn't even change my shirt.
Doing some kit bashing for Forbidden Psalm. So I think I'm going all in. I'm hauling out all the old 90s Citadel.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, like discontinued minis. So there'll be Skaven and Barbarians and Orcs.
Don't use too much of it because those might be worth something later on.
Oh yeah, probably not. Yeah, I'm surprised the plastic really does degrade. It gets kind of crumbly. Yeah. Some of this older stuff, and it takes the glue differently too. It just like almost instantly turns to goo. Like Yeah, if you use too much of the glue, it is much bigger effect. Like the regular plastics glue really melts it. So you can, I guess, do some really insane stuff. But yeah, I'm surprised the properties change a little bit because these are like, probably 30-year-old. This is probably 30-year-old plastic. So
Oof.
Yeah. And back in the day when you could buy like someone's big tub of bits, on eBay.
I think there's people. I think they're still doing it, but it's just like, a big tub of crumbly bits.
Yeah, now they want $4,000 for it because it's
I'm sorry, what?
Warhammer. I mean, they want huge money now.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like 4,000. I'm like, that's only $40. Okay.
No, not yet. Yeah, back in the day though, people were just unloading that stuff when it was like, when they'd done new sculpts of the models and stuff. Love that old stuff though. It's all wonky looking.
It has a style.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Matt says he listened to the Forbidden Psalm.
Oh, nice.
In the car.
Oh, did you like our audio doubling again? Yeah.
We're not doubling now, are we?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Well, yeah. Double check. Random names is very fun.
I wanted to bring it up on my head. Like, I haven't had time to go through my Forbidden Psalm book again and kind of consolidate the stuff we did last night, but it is hilarious and interesting how just from those random name tables and then the stats, backstories and stories about these imaginary characters were materializing just from like 3 rolls on a table.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting quality even of the RPG is that just with a little bit of suggestion and a little bit of prompting, you can start to world build. They just say there's a mad wizard, you're looking for his sock, and what is your gang, or what is your character, and you quickly come up with some pretty wacky world building. Yeah, very fun.
Yeah, I'm glad someone tipped us off that the audio was doubling.
Thank you,
like
Abyss.
That last stream was like trying to build stuff and oh crap, the audio is terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, for some reason this flavor of OBS lets you have one audio channel or whatever, but lets you put like unlimited sources on it. So you literally I could have had 8 sounds playing through the same channel at the same time. I don't know what that advantage of that is, I guess, like if you don't have a mixer or whatever, then you can put it in and it's a virtual mixer. Then you can kind of like, control the levels.
OBS has virtual cameras, right? So
Yeah. But it was very, very frustrating because you can't see it. It doesn't tell you anywhere until you go 2 levels in, and then you're like, oh, there's something there that doesn't have a little slash through it. But anyhow, that's all behind us. But yeah, anytime things get updated, get updated, we get this weird thing. We got to double check, and it's different, different for every setup. So at home, it's a totally different problem. All of these are fun, but so we got some Forbidden Psalm going. We'll have to figure out what campaign or what, because there's a lot of stuff now. There's I was just thinking maybe like the first one, or whatever the first one to come out. Just play through that and see what happens. Sure. Yeah, I think that would
hopefully
be good.
Meet more than once a month.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I don't have to. I'm not at work. I don't have to edit myself.
Yes, and that'll be nice. We'll need to take a look because there's additional like minis and terrain and stuff
right.
for each campaign. So I'll kind of work ahead to keep that stuff. Yeah, I think we did. I used to like some of the little slime minis and stuff for the. I think you're collecting picking fungus in the first one of the first campaign scenarios. But it'll be fun.
It's a fetch quest.
Yes, it's a fetch quest. Yeah, and it's interesting. I don't know if it's frustrating for some people, but I noticed on the first set of scenarios, there isn't like mechanical effects. It's more story. It's like, okay, you did this, and the wizard is happy. Okay, what do I get some gold? What does that mean? Because they already have the mechanics of the treasure tables and everything, so you do all that. But then the like final results of like the story of the scenario, it's just like, and this is the result. Like, okay, but plus what? I don't know. Yeah, there's no way to kind of really document that. Yeah, so it is just a narrative.
I'll have to go in and look because I mean, do you need mechanics for absolutely everything?
No,
a hypothetical question.
Yeah, but in campaigns, it's like, because whoever collected the most mushrooms or whatever, they were like, okay, so that might mean something. Oh, he's happy. Oh, okay.
Okay. Sure. Okay. I'm reserving judgment until I read the scenario to see a little bit more. Okay. Yeah.
Massive amounts of fungus is its own reward.
It
is. We had Matt yelling at the recording. You're doubling again, you idiots.
Old man yells at class. Sorry.
Fun stuff. Yeah, today it's a bunch of wackiness. I don't know. There's right. I think the same kind of thing that we saw after the OGL debacle is kind of happening on the lead up to the public release of whatever Wizards is doing for their VTT.
Oh, not the Mad Wizard. Okay, Wizards.
Yeah. No, the Wizards of the Coast is doing for their whatever their thing is going to be, their platform. People are positioning to get ready for that, and we'll find out more about that today.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Kind of.
Yes. So so tomorrow I'll remind again, but tomorrow Outgunned Adventure.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Matt's gonna run that for us, and we'll get to see. And
that'll be able to tune in live. But as someone who listens to when they have a chance, listen to actual plays to find out how games play, I want to see that.
Good. Oh, do you have anything? Do you want to show off during the podcast?
I'll bring it up during the podcast.
Okay, cool.
After we call it a podcast when we're not actually.
Yeah, right. Well, it's all so hybrid now, and I hate that name, that vestigial name now from Apple's scheme of naming. Things.
We could call ourselves livers.
Livers. Well, we're switching to VTube. As soon as we get old enough, we're not going to put our faces on camera. We're just going to be these cute anime girls.
Only reason I haven't switched to VTube is because I don't know how it works.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll just need 2 separate webcams, and then you can have your little avatar. I can make that happen if you want to be sitting sitting here bouncing next to me.
I don't necessarily. No,
there's all kinds of secondary animations on those things.
I thought they would be primary. I don't need to Gynax this up, right? No, it's fine. Right?
Yes, we're getting there. Nice. Yeah. I can't wait to see how Outgunned plays. All right, so let's get started for this week. Good to see everybody. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Roll20 buys Demiplane. Steamforged buys Warmachine.
Who bought us?
Yeah, we're waiting. We're still waiting for our offer. Instagram is training their AI on your art.
And they didn't buy anything.
And they're not paying for it. And Adam Bradford is hired by Fantasy Grounds. Okay. So it's all kind of commingled, and we'll kind of untangle everything that's going on here. So let's start with Roll20. So Roll20 announces, and I don't know if this is a good thing. I mean, it seems like necessary, but it seems like one of those shortcuts. It's something they probably should have built out themselves, but I don't trust Roll20 and their implementation of this. Okay. They have purchased Demiplane, and we've mentioned Demiplane many times. It's a digital tool set, and they keep expanding. They've done a lot of Free League games, Pathfinders on it. I think the Daggerheart. There's a lot of stuff that has been added, and it's basically like an alternative D&D Beyond. It's just digital tool sets for creating characters and character creation and keeping track of.
Okay,
things.
So is it, as someone who does not play online and doesn't use VTTs, is Demiplane a VTT? Like. Mm-mm. So it's only
just a digital
tools.
Yeah.
So I would need something else like Twitch,
right? So it's
Discord.
It's D&D Beyond. So there's no tokens, no grids. Maybe you can generate tokens with it, but there's no grids. It's just so a lot of people, and I think the reason, and they say this very often, that the reason 5e really took off is because of D&D Beyond, because Wizards never had a really good digital tool set. They were their websites were kind of wonky. Yeah. D&D Beyond was really elegant, and you didn't need the rule books. You basically could roll up a character without dice, without a character sheet, without pencil, without anything, and you had a character. So some people don't even really know, what the software is doing behind the scenes, and what it's adding, how many dice you're rolling. You're just clicking generate these stats and things. And so it really lowered the barrier for creating a character for D&D. And you could be playing 5e, you don't even know what the rules are. And so then the DM could kind of, could ease you into it and walk you through it. It's not like, read this player's handbook and get back to me.
Which we actually did that with a player. Mm-hmm. Like way back in the day when 4e came around. It won't take too long for the story. We had a player in a board game group that we could toss a dictionary-sized rule book at, and they would read and play these very complicated board games. And so this is back in the Idle Word Hands era. We figured, okay, we'll do the same thing, and we just kind of tossed the 4E player's handbook at him and said, you want to play, make a character? And he took one look at the book and said, I'm not interested. Which was kind of a surprise, because if someone would do that with a huge rule book for a board game, you'd assume the same, but no. So
yeah, maybe very different, because with an RPG, there's so much that's like, and then what? It's like, there's all the social interaction stuff, and none of that is spelled out. And it's like, so what do I actually do when we're at the table?
I would argue then that's a very poorly thought out game, right? Anyway, I'm not going to bag on D&D anymore. Okay, because I was just curious because, so getting back to Roll20 buying Demiplane. Mm-hmm. So Roll20 now has sort of all these things and tools. Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's over there. Has all these tools that they can now put in their virtual tabletop. Right. Because Roll20 is a virtual tabletop.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so basically it's like adding, because I think you can port from D&D Beyond, you can port the character into Roll20. Okay. I think they had tools for doing that. Now you're going to not leave Roll20, basically. Right. Okay. So this acquisition will give you character management, creation tool sets, so easy character creation for multiple game systems. So it's not unlike...
D&D's the only one that matters.
Yeah, unlike D&D Beyond, it's everything that they support so far. So this will create, and also now we know Roll20, Drive-Thru-RPG, that's all connected. Yep. So it's everything. And so that's going to be, in a way, especially with indie RPGs, that's going to make Roll20 a little bit of a kingmaker. Because if it's easier to, everything in their system to play it, and they haven't done the digital tools yet. So they mentioned that in this statement, that they get to choose what order they start adding these games in, because they're not just D&D. So they're going to add other games, character creation tools. You can't do it yourself. It's their kind of closed platform. So that's a little interesting. So so Roll20's CEO Ankit Lal says that their goal was to create a seamless user experience by adding these digital toolsets. Our goal is to help characters connect, help gamers connect everywhere, and help them to get into games so that they can hang out with friends and family. And that's what we've been doing with Roll20 and with Drive-Thru-RPG, DM's Guild, Demiplane, and Dungeon Scrawl. So all kinds of all of a kind under the same roof. Our end goal is to create a seamless experience where people have one place to purchase their content. They seamlessly take their characters from in-person to VTT. They can buy PDFs, print-on-demand books, or digital compendiums to make it easier for everyone. So we will see if that's actually a thing. And so Demiplane was founded by the executive Adam Bradford, who we're going to be talking about again, who was also one of the founders of D&D Beyond. I think the founder. And so D&D Beyond was bought by Wizards, and they are including that now. I think they're rolling that, or just kind of trying to take their subscribers over into whatever they're doing for their VTT, and hope for the best. But already Demiplane has, like I mentioned, Paizo, so Starfinder, Pathfinder, Critical Role's, Darrington Press, Free League Publishing, and Paradox Interactive titles for their tool set. So they can build a tool set for hundreds of new game systems, and Roll20 now potentially can support new Kickstarter campaigns, which is another big thing. So they'll provide a full suite of digital options, PDF distribution to VTT modules, digital character sheets, and character creation options as part of campaigns. When they'll build something when someone is offering like a second edition or whatever to kind of sweeten the campaign. So Demiplane's current CEO, Peter Romenesko, said, "What you'll see is a very concentrated effort to bring the distance between each of these three different solutions now under Roll20 brand, starting to bring them closer. So both in digital proximity, so that all of a sudden you can start to use things across the whole platform, whether you're playing in person or online. And you'll notice that these changes one by one." But it's something that we're really committed to, so it's not going to be a sudden thing. It's probably going to be very gradual, and they may not execute well at all. So in addition, this is an interesting thing. So we'll be bringing in a whole new bunch of great games on the platform to find out really unique ways to bring Demiplane into Drive-Thru-RPG and virtual tabletop. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot more virtual items, things that you're only as tokens and things that are going to go right in. Because
I said, as someone who doesn't play online or use virtual things, I'm trying to wrap my head around what this is going to mean, because I'm not going to say like Monopoly, but I kind of forgot that Wizards is trying to do its own VTT, and they're trying to bring those subscribers from D&D Beyond over. So I wonder if Roll20 is going to focus initially on other games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they would have to. But initially, the funny thing is, they already were in development of a character creation tool set for D&D 5e.
Well, I mean, okay.
So now they promised, okay, we're going to finish that, and then it's going to be directly competing, with Wizards of the Coast, and then we're going to add. But they said that what they're doing with this digital tool set will be already a massive upgrade to what Roll20 is doing with character management. And I think majority, more than 50% of people using Roll20 are playing 5e. So That's why they're not going to dump this.
Well, okay, D&D being what it is, not developing tools to allow people to play D&D 5e on your VTT is basically leaving money on the floor.
Yeah.
But with Wizards trying to make their own, I wonder, I don't know, I'm not a CEO, but I'm thinking do you try and do it now and keep people playing on your tabletop, or do you wait for whatever WotC makes and then have an alternative ready, saying if you're not happy with that, or if you don't like it, I don't know.
Yeah, well, and I think we're going to see the same things we saw with rights for local, especially sports events for local television and cable fighting. So you have blackout stations, or with Amazon, Google, and Apple fighting over how you can buy stuff and what store you can buy through. So they're just going to start saying, okay, well, you can't buy the Dungeon Master's Guide through Drive-Thru-RPG anymore because it's only going to be available if you're in our Wizards of the Coast D&D. I have to
imagine WotC's going to do that.
Yeah, they're going to start doing, and so it's going to, so people that are already invested in this, it's going to be weird, and I don't know how that's going to make them look bad. I don't know if that's going to get them to lure people over to what they're doing because they're already being jerks about it. Because if you're already in Roll20 and you've been playing a subscription, everything's set up, and it's just going to get better, Roll20 is getting upgraded, you're not going to want to make that move. And
maybe you're going to have to make the decision about sticking with 5e and whatever content is available on Roll20, or jumping to whatever WotC makes for the next edition.
Yeah, and that might be interesting because it may cut what they're trying to not do by not saying 6th edition, but it might cut their player base in half. Interesting. Yeah, so
this is why I just keep it at physical and play in physical spaces, right?
Yeah, right.
Which is also why I guess I don't fucking play at all, right?
Yes. So, the Roll20 CEO goes on and on. But yeah, I think it's basically the same kind of stuff. So we think the combination of the Roll20 VTT and Demiplane character ecosystem is going to make it as easy as possible to build your first character. And that's really, I think, what D&D Beyond did.
Right.
It just made it so easy. You don't have to know anything about it. They just kind of walked you through options and what a game was. So
sorry, I thought I was going to be buried on something kind of like board game avalanche there for a second.
No.
Right. Like on it, actually, like I don't care is a strong term, but I was thinking any kind of accessibility tools to make a game easier to play. Okay, fine, that's a good thing. So I actually don't think people need to know the rules in and out for a game, right? Like it was a barrier, it still is a barrier to entry, right? Here's these 3 books. You go, oh Jesus, I'll play something else, right? So like not knowing the rules because the VTT does it for you, fine. Right? I'm not going to get up on like a horse and be like, oh, you're not a real role player because you don't know the rules yourself. No, right. Whatever. Like, you don't have to be any kind of programmer to play a video game, right? Anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is all interesting because Roll20, they announced their Discord integration. They announced they're redoing their whole interface, this rocket ship icon kind of rebuild for whatever they're doing. So yeah, they're really positioning themselves to be in the best possible state to offer the best possible product to compete with whatever Wizards is, and we haven't even seen that, and we don't even know how frustrating or
pressure's on the Wizards not fall on their face.
Yeah, right. But the thing I'm afraid of, though, I've seen this before with especially like email platforms where they buy smaller companies that have really good technology, they fold it in, they kind of use a few of the features,
and then they enshittification it.
Yeah, it just kind of goes away. So if they're already working on this D&D thing, they just might buy Demiplane to keep that off of the table for somebody else, and then they're just going to use their whatever they're doing for D&D characterization, just kind of crunch it over to these other systems. It's not going to work well, and it's like, well, you had Demiplane, it was already done. That
was kind of the first thing I thought. Yeah. Like they bought this up because it's a rival, and they didn't want. Anyway, yeah.
Right. So Adam Bradford, where will he go? Because now he's not involved in D&D Beyond or Demiplane, and we have an answer to that coming up later. So next acquisition, we're just going to go down the list here.
Yeah, sure.
So Steamforged acquires the Iron Kingdom's Warmachine and more. So there was an announcement, and it was a little confusing. We talked about this a little off the cast because it seemed like a collaboration, a partnership. No. They bought them. Yeah. So when Steamforged kind of posted their announcement, they're saying, we have got important news to share with you. Here at Steamforged, we are beyond excited to announce we've acquired the incredible Iron Kingdoms universe from our friends at Privateer Press. And that also includes the Formula P3 paints and some other titles, some that have crowdfunders that haven't been fulfilled yet, and people that are like, what's going on with this? I would like to see something. So they're kind of gradually rolling out FAQs, and I read the latest one that came out last night. But they said, we're working together to design and development of all the lines that Privateer Press says, the Iron Kingdom from Privateer Press. Their proven 10-year track record of creating, developing, and delivering large-scale games to thousands of players and retailers around the world is what Steamforged is going to bring to the table. They've done well executing for crowdfunding. Not great. They kind of stepped away from Guild Ball. It's still available, and they're supporting it. They left a community to support it, and there's free STLs and a free rulebook for their starter set, and then you can still buy all of the guilds miniatures, but they've kind of stepped away from it. So I think that gives a good opportunity for them to really focus on something that maybe they can help really build up a competitive scene, because it's something that Guild Ball never quite got. Is a really, I mean, it was isolated. I think there was a local game store in Japan that was pushing it really hard and holding tournaments, and people were trying to get Guild Ball to be a thing. And just under the shadow of once they did a second edition of Blood Bowl, it's
how about Monster Apocalypse?
Oh yeah, so that's the thing that they're talking about, is like, are we getting this? What's happening? What's the state of that? Yeah, that's where a lot of the questions came up, and they'll be answered later. They haven't said. exactly what's going on, but everyone seems pretty thrilled. And also, the funny thing is, people, yeah, of course, corporately you have to be, but people like Matt Hart and some of the other people involved in Steamforged were actually early, like organized play community leaders for Warmachine. So they have love for the product. So that's a good thing to see. It's not just, oh, this is a good IP and we will mine this IP for all it's worth and then dump it when it doesn't make any more money.
They'll just do that just with appreciation for the IP. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's nice to see Steamforged has people that love Warmachine, and so that makes them very excited to do this. So they've said we're transitioning the range out to our website, so everything's going to start appearing on the Steamforged website. Orders will reopen later this week. So right now you can't order anything. I think maybe you can the STLs and the stuff that they already had on Steamforged is still available. The Iron Kingdoms, Warmachine stuff is moving over. There's no mention of Hordes. They didn't specifically name Hordes. I guess that it's included in the Iron Kingdoms.
It's part of the Iron. Well, if they're saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're transitioning the range. Our main focus is Warmachine. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Our main focus is Warmachine.
Right.
And the Iron Kingdoms RPG.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Hordes is part of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're just saying we're focusing on this game,
right,
Warmachine, and the Iron Kingdoms RPG. Maybe Horde support will come later.
Yeah, because they mentioned the Formula P3 Paint, Warcaster, their newer sci-fi title that I don't think gained much ground, and then Riot Quest. Those are the only things that are mentioned by name. Yes. So Guild Ball and God Tier are kind of slowly going to be. They said they're still scheduling events for everything, and they will. Everything that was planned by Privateer Press for Gen Con, they're going to make sure happens. Yeah, so they're still running all the scheduled events for Warmachine and Warcaster. And then they just did a June 6th update, and I've got a few of the little points for that. And the next thing that's coming up is a Iron Kingdoms RPG Kickstarter for the Strange Light Workshop. So they're going to take over and manage that, which means it'll probably get fulfilled and produced a little more timely maybe than other things that have happened. So, so they were saying the popularity for Warmachine has kind of dropped off. We've seen they at one time had a very vibrant competitive scene, but that kind of means not much in the way of a casual player base. And Steamforged wants to kind of concentrate on all of that: the hobbyist, the casual, and the competitive. That's a big ask, but and also too though. So the 4th edition launched in the middle of the pandemic, so that didn't help it much. Right. And what it also did is retired some of the legacy models to kind of Legends status, and that pissed people off because then you got to buy new stuff or you can't play it. So both Richard Loxham and Matt Hart were UK Warmachine tournament organizers. They got some love for the game, and of course, the statement of everyone's excitement is more than apparent. But the latest, in the latest FAQ and kind of the statement that they released, they said the two things that they want to focus on initially. First, we're strengthening the supply chain, so ensuring the models are always available without interruption, and this means a bunch of work on the back end, the production facilities, inventory control, and logistics, so that they're going to get, everything will make it to your friendly local game store, which is a thing that Privateer Press has choked on a few times. I think in their 3rd edition, I remember hearing people say they went to conventions and they had the rule book but no models, and the next convention they went to, they had the models and no rule book. Right. So they're definitely having supply chain issues. And then expanding the game's reach, so they want to share it with as many people. So focus on solid marketing for all of their Iron Kingdoms properties. So that means things like organized play, cool events, and narratives for gamers to enjoy. So and then things like running demos and stuff at conventions. So hopefully this will be. I've liked what Steamforged has done. I like a lot of the quality of their games is good. It's not amazing, but it's good. And if they're going to be, the other thing they did talk about that I didn't copy into my notes is they said for now they're going to stick with the resin production, but they're moving gradually everything over to HIPS. So the first thing they're going to do is injection plastic for their starter sets. The new starter sets that are coming out are going to be like on sprue injection molds, and then they'll still make available though, so that no models are kind of in limbo. They're still going to make available resin, but they're going to move away from that in the future. So this is a good thing. I mean, that may mean a new life and something that
maybe
it's not competing greatly with 40K anymore, but some people may get back into it. It's got a fun, I like the Iron Kingdom setting. It's a fun steampunk aesthetic. It's not it's not as ugly in a lot of respects as the it just is kind of like, funky steampunk industrial, not this blighted.
Well, I mean, depending on where you go.
Yeah, right. But that's true. And they've done a lot of fun things. Privateer Press has, come up with a lot of fun settings and even like kind of like scaled down board game level, games using their characters and stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we'll see what comes of this. All right. So before we tell you the fate of of Adam Bradford, let's talk about some other. So I guess the Butlerian Jihad is imminent. The war.
One would hope.
Yes, humanity's war against the machines continues. So artists threaten to leave Instagram in droves over AI art training news. So Meta has just basically said
we own you.
Yeah, their new terms are saying, or I guess they've confirmed directly that yes, they are training their AI image generator using all public images on Instagram posts. So that just made all of the artists that are using it as a promotion tool go, God damn.
Yep.
So the platform is increasingly becoming saturated with paid ads. So it's not even becoming less usable than it was before. Yep. And they're saying we're getting amazing quality images from their AI image generator. Yeah, because you're using some of the best artists out there because they used your platform. And so now people are leaving in droves. So creators are angry, saying that they were unaware of this use and that Meta did not secure consent. Many artists have been publishing posts and stories on Instagram to declare ownership and copyright of their work and to say they do not consent to this AI, to train the AI with this work. I mean, that's not going to be effective in any way. And they've made it as difficult as possible. There is an opt-out, but it's made it as difficult as possible.
I've tried doing it. I gave up, right? Which is what they were expecting people to do.
Yeah. Yep. So some artists are deciding to just delete their content and leave the platform. Yep. An alternative has kind of appeared. Kara is a platform specifically for artists that says no AI generated work can be posted on here. We don't, we will curate and delete all of that, and we're never going to be using your images for anything. So people are seeing that as an alternative, but always alternative social media is tiny compared to what you're going to be walking away from with Meta. Yeah. So our only hope is the users in the EU do have a chance to opt out. They didn't make it easy, but if that becomes a thing that they have to obey, hopefully that that'll help artists in other locations. So they go through the whole. So if you want to opt out in the EU, settings, help center, about AI in Instagram, learn how to use Meta. You learn how to use learn how Meta uses information for generative AI model features, and then you gotta go all the way through that just to probably send them an email and demand that you're opting out.
Yeah. The thing I saw is that you had to provide like proof that they were actually using your content, and you're just like,
wow.
That's why I gave up. 'Cause I'm like, I don't want my stuff to be used, and then I'm like, how am I going to prove this?
Well, and that's the trick too. Is once it's gotten stirred in there enough with enough people's work, it's not going to be distinguishable, at least to a court or a judge, that it's been used. So you get a message after you try this saying, "Thank you for contacting us. We don't automatically fulfill requests, and we will review them consistent with your local laws." Means if you're not in the EU, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, basically.
Yes. So Meta says it only uses images and public posts, so you can make your account private, and then the ability to promote your work is completely canceled. So that doesn't make any sort of sense. And then people have suggested, anti-AI tools like Nightshade to make the imperceptible change that will screw up the training for AIs, but we'll see. So, but J. Scott Campbell has stepped in to talk about this, and it doesn't seem, it's so much now seems like just pulling up the ladder stuff. It's just like, I make so much money off of this. My career is established. If you steal, if you steal my stuff, I'm still going to be making money from it. You can steal my old stuff. I don't care. I'm making new stuff and I'm selling it. So up goes the ladder. And all the people that are just beginning their career are going to be totally have their legs taken out from under them. So on his Facebook account, J. Scott Campbell, who's a superstar comic book artist that you may know from Gen 13 and Image Comics, has he sympathized with fellow artists who are irritated by this. He says he has created an account on Kara and will, try to, post to it and keep it updated, because the platform is specifically designed not to allow AI generated art to be shared. But he says artists shouldn't be too quick to abandon platforms that are valuable for artists in the industry, and where being seen is so important to their success. So regardless of what Meta wants to do to your art, if you're not on Instagram, you're not going to be seen. You're not going to be present in the community of artists. When people are looking at portfolios, or when people recommend you, they say, oh, what's their Instagram? Well, they're not on Instagram, they're on Kara. What's Kara? Yeah. Right. So why Campbell won't be leaving the major social media platform is his main point was saying he knows it's frustrating, but quote, he says, while certainly I understand and respect the principled actions and weighty decisions others in my field are making to exit Instagram over Meta's AI image scraping policies, I would strongly encourage those out there to make a living from their artwork, whether it's from using Instagram as a hiring portfolio or like me as an advertising tool for my art business. Do not make a big decision about this emotionally. So I guess kind of look at the numbers, kind of weigh the.
I gotta agree with him.
Yeah. Is it? Knee jerk is not gonna. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, if it's kind of similarly, okay, like thinking about third party creators, right? Having this discussion, like if you make stuff for D&D, right, or if you make stuff and you promoted it on Twitter, right, like back when Twitter kind of got tanked, right, there was this big discussion about artists or content creators or writers taking a hit just because the audience of whatever social media thing they're going to relocate to is so small,
right? So
considered.
So personally, you have experience with this. So do you feel that your reach for your itch.io content has been lessened by not being on Twitter?
It's probably mostly lessened because I don't put anything up new on it, right? But like, I'll actually have to go back and look at the numbers. But actually, I'm not going to say either way. But I do know, anecdotally, I do know people who said, like, I used to be kind of at least getting these number of hits back on Twitter. Now I'm getting like these number of hits just because,
because the discovery, we talked about that. The discovery on itch.io is not great. No, so you use social media for people to know what you were putting up there, what your latest stuff was. So that's difficult. So Campbell added, I understand the slow creep of AI is scary, and we're all inclined to fight back, but I'm not sure hiding our artwork away from the world on a small, upstart, untested platform exclusively is a wise choice, referring to Kara. Yep. So it's a difficult thing because, and we're in this because most people function in this kind of digital world, whether it's communication tools like Discord or Zoom or whatever, you are agreeing for these companies to have a certain amount of say over what you're doing with your career, and you're gonna have to accept that, and it's going to just be this like cost. It's a new kind of, I think, cost to the access, and we're going to have to kind of figure out if it's worth it. And creating alternatives is not. We can't just keep creating. Oh no. So now Kara says that they have some political view that we don't agree with. So let's get out of Kara and go to the others. So
I'm just waiting for Kara to get bought by Instagram.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. That's the danger, is that an alternative is created, and it just.
Well, I suppose I was thinking about this. I mean, thinking about like VTTs and all that stuff, right? Like, I suppose no one is really forced to be bought. There's always a level of money where someone is just going to say, yes, right?
But most people do have a price.
Exactly. No, I think everyone has a price. Everyone has a price. Just some people are way higher, right, than others, right?
Right.
But I mean, not on the other hand, but even if Kara said no to being bought by Instagram, like, what does Instagram have to? Like, I'm sure there are things Instagram could do or Meta could do where it's just like indirectly affects Kara's numbers, right?
Yeah, and so Kara's statement is no AI forever. So their stance that they articulate on their site is, we do not agree with generative AI tools in the current unethical form. We won't host AI-generated portfolios unless the rampant ethical and data privacy issues around the data sets are resolved via regulation. In the event that the legislation is passed to clearly protect artists, we believe AI-generated content should always be clearly labeled, because the public should always know, or always be able to search for human-made art and media easily. And the last thing that Campbell says, which kind of makes sense, and this is very old school because this goes back to actually putting stamps on letters, is artists should cultivate a mailing list. If there are fans of your work, the best way to directly reach them is just give them a newsletter or updates about, I just released this, I just did this, it's here, and that kind of goes around the whole social media thing, and you have direct access to people that are interested, because on social media you don't get to, all of your users don't see your posts. It's because of the algorithm and how they want to manipulate ads. You have 10,000 followers, 500 see everything that you post, and then depending on how things are scored, other people are have access to them, or how many ads you buy on Meta, however that works. And so cultivating a mailing list may be your ultimate the ultimate tool to not even having to worry about this until Gmail says, oh, guess what? We scan your email and attachments are added to our AI. And finally, where in the world is Adam Bradford? SmiteWorks has hired D&D Beyond's founder for Chief of Development of Fantasy Grounds. So SmiteWorks LLC is the makers of Fantasy Grounds. So we're going to see a big improvement in that platform. And it was interesting. There were comments under this article right away saying, oh, thank God, this 90s interface on Fantasy Grounds sucks. And Adam was there to answer. So I thought that was very, very cool. He jumped into the comments. So leaving Demiplane, who was just acquired by Roll20, and moving to SmiteWorks. So his wealth of experience and expertise will be very useful as their development officer. So he founded D&D Beyond, the digital tool set, which was acquired by Hasbro. Then jumped to Demiplane, which was then acquired by Roll20. And he's just going to have to keep going, keep innovating, keep doing things. Oh, and I admire the fact that he's just not going to sit back and say, I guess I work for Roll20 now. He's going to, keep supporting, platforms that have potential, that just need someone to kind of point them in the right direction, have the sensibility of a game designer and a dedicated player and somebody interested in tabletop to kind of say, this is what you need to do if you want to attract players. So SmiteWorks has said, we are thrilled to welcome Adam Bradford to the team. His expertise and vision are invaluable to grow Fantasy Grounds and provide our users with the best possible game experience. We have a lot of great things in the works, and we believe Adam is a perfect addition to achieve our goals. And Adam then said, I am excited, incredibly excited, not just excited, to be joining SmiteWorks and have the opportunity to contribute to the ongoing success of Fantasy Grounds. The virtual tabletop space is evolving rapidly to make playing these games we love more convenient than ever. I look forward to working with the outstanding team at SmiteWorks to continue driving innovation and growing the tabletop role-playing space. So, yes.
Those announcements were fine. The quote, right? They're kind of meaningless. And I'm not saying any particular person, but I'm like, you, as someone who works on the fringe of corporate culture, you have to say that.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Well, at least we know they didn't drag him away at gunpoint, to SmiteWorks. They locked him in the dungeons of SmiteWorks.
No, I'm not saying that. SmiteWorks, yeah. Anyway. That's not me saying only them. Like any kind of corporate, right? Any kind of public announcement, you're just like, you had to say this. So whatever. Yep.
Right. So some of the comments under this announcement were, their decision to be backwards compatible and to have a UI that looks like 1990 has really kept me from going back to Fantasy Grounds. And then it's going to be hard to beat Roll20 and Foundry. Fantasy Grounds has some real strengths, but their shot at surviving whatever they do and whatever WotC does is yet to be determined. Yep. But Adam was there to say, we're bringing the AI to great new places. One of my two top core priorities will be establishing a modern and polished visual identity for Fantasy Grounds. Okay. Since I've been the driving force behind both D&D Beyond and Demiplane. So an updated AI is basically the only thing...
UI, careful, UI.
UI, what did I say?
Not AI.
Oh,
yep,
AI. Yep. UI, A-E-I-O. UI is basically the only thing, hopefully it's not an AI, preventing me from using Fantasy Grounds. So people keep reiterating that and say, that's the first thing they're going to do. And I think that's kept it very compatible so that, people running old PCs are not going to have to worry if this thing is going to give them trouble or not. But at the same time, I think that does limit them from getting new players, because when they see screenshots of all the VTTs and they're like, what's that? It's a little bit discouraging. Yeah, so we're going to see Fantasy Grounds stepping up. So that's going to mean games, they don't have to choose one, but these companies like Free League and Modifius, they're going to have to make choices. Are we going to do Roll20 content? Are we going to do who are we going to develop.
So we're seeing like
the
the streaming servicification of role-playing games.
Right. Yeah. The VTTs are going to kind of there's going to be a pecking order, and if you want to go where the players are, and because these are part of crowdfunding campaigns. It's an option or a stretch goal in a crowdfunding campaign. So they're going to say, hey, available on Fantasy Grounds, or we'll unlock this for Alchemy or for Roll20. So yeah, we're gonna see how people divide and how people shake up, and of course, each of them have their strengths. And obviously, things like Roll20 were initially built for 5e. They're probably for 4e almost. They were built to play tokens in grid combat, and so there are going to be different flavors. More theater of the mind, less tactical combat that certain VTTs are going to be better at, especially like Alchemy. They're so heavily into designing, using the art assets and the designing animations and just these screens that are just gorgeous to look at. So you can just sit on that screen and do your theater of the mind, and then switch over to a tactical version if needed. So yeah, we're going to see people kind of figuring out how they want to play, and I hope it doesn't mean. I think they've already mentioned going from real life to virtual and trying to make that seamless. I think that's not a bad idea. And the thing that you encounter when you're playing in real life with physical character sheets is I forgot my character sheet, and it's nice to be able to log into a VTT and the current version is there. So those sorts of things I think are going to actually supplement playing in real life, because you do run into, I don't have this, I don't have that, and on the VTT there's dice rollers, there's your character sheet there, and if you don't have minis and graph paper, you can actually. Someone can open a...
What era did you play? Minis and graph paper?
Yeah. So, oops.
Is that from the era you had a mapper and a caller in the group? Yeah.
And, but, these tools, and we're going to be seeing, like, people have tried to implement, like, augmented reality and stuff and VR into being physical and then standing there with an iPad in front of your face. So we'll see how some of this technology shakes out. But there's a lot of, competitors are kind of building up. And like I said, I think the OGL debacle, kind of got Kobold Press and a lot of people like ready with their version of 5e. And so I think what WotC is doing with whatever their VTT is getting other people to kind of, let's join forces, let's make the best product possible, let's give the most seamless, easiest, the lowest barrier to entry.
Or, I mean, not an or, but I think you're right. Okay, I got to wrap it up soon because I got to get back to boring ass work. But the OGL debacle people or companies that were in a position to kind of take advantage of that, I think the jury is still out on whether they've done well or not, right? But I think maybe what this is, or my guess would be, is VTT companies positioning themselves to take advantage if WotC fucks up whatever VTT they're making. Like, they want to be in the best position they can be to be able to jump in and be like, oh, you're not playing 5e? Come to ours. Or you're not happy with WotC's tools? Come play ours. They, instead of scrambling to do it, they got to be like, we have to be as close as possible to be able to jump to take advantage of this as soon as they make a misstep. Yeah.
And we've already seen with the OGL that what was kind of revealed about their actual intentions is Hasbro is going to be as cutthroat and brutal as possible.
Well, the original OGL was cutthroat. The original OGL was by design and by admission of the person who wrote it, a way to strangle non-D20 games, to bring everything under this D20 umbrella, and to make it harder for other games that didn't use D20s and all the same system to function. So this isn't like a sudden, for me at least, this isn't like a sudden thing like, oh, WotC suddenly become very cutthroat. No, they've always been cutthroat, right?
Yeah, and so now that we're in more of a digital world, they have the ability to say, oh, guess what? DM's Guild, that doesn't exist anymore. They can revoke rights and licenses and things. So there is going to be some people that, so they're trying to just, circle the wagons and kind of get ready for whatever games Wizards of the Coast is going to be playing with their content. Yay, good fun. But it's under Creative Commons, right?
I don't even know anymore. I don't know.
So we'll see what happens.
I've stopped looking.
We will see what happens. So that'll do it for this week. Where can people find you?
Social media until it collapses, right? like people said last week, I am on Threads, but only because I cross post from a couple times. Anyway, I'm still on Instagram, still on Facebook occasionally, and Blue Sky, Hivemind, HYVEMYND, where lately I've been developing a little tactical game that fits in a mint tin box.
Oh, nice.
We'll see how far that gets before I lose interest and work on something else, which is kind of already started to happen.
You have to eat all the mints.
You have to eat all the mints first, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Nice.
So, how about you?
Oh, and I'm still doing my single panel gag cartoon, but I have switched schedules of the live stream. Now I'm doing a monthly live stream. So I did all of June's cartoons last Thursday. Yes. Yesterday. I'm sorry, Tuesday. So and it's not going to be a regular streaming schedule, but there will be one kind of mega stream every month where I'll just sit and do all the cartoons and just because what I was doing is I just needed to get the work done. I was popping in for an hour, right. And live streaming for an hour, very useful. People can't find you, and you're like, okay, got to go by, and it's not.
Oh, I just sat down, right? Yeah.
So it's Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch. And if you want to read the cartoon, gocomics.com/domestic abuse. But if you like what we're doing here on the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
On patreon.com/upturntable. So we have several tiers to kind of let us know what you like on our channel, what content you want to support. We've got lore videos, actual plays, reviews, all kinds of fun stuff. And that's upturntable.com to find all of that. And on all social media, upturntable. Yay. So that'll do it for this week. We'll be back next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. So it looks like I'm getting line noise on both of these mics. So sorry. I think when we reconfigured things up here, things are a little funky. So sorry about that. If that's bugging you, I'm going to try to filter that out for the audio only. And I think I'm going to just have to start recording locally so I have more control over this audio. Yikes. But how is everybody doing? Let me get the chat open. Hey, Carolina's in the chat. All right. And at least our audio isn't doubling. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, the nice thing that Outgunned did is they're offering everything. It's quite expensive. These two together get pretty pricey. You're looking at about 300 euros for everything they've produced so far. For both the new genre and the old setting, but that's nice. They make available all the previous stretch goals and everything from the first Outgunned Kickstarter in the new adventure one, and maybe that's why it's so expensive so successful. It is expensive, but it's so successful because people did realize maybe they missed something with Outgunned and are now jumping in. So that's why Adventure is doing so much better than the second one, because it's offering both the first and second content. Yes. Oh, Matt said, yeah, same story when a buddy wanted to run 4E. Yes. Oh, yeah, I think Warmachine has remained in privateer press hands. They did they've done a new version. Oh, and that's the other thing that I forgot to read in the update. Is they said they're going to support resin still, but moving to injection plastic. And they also said that they're moving away from the Mark III, Mark IV versions for the rules and are just calling it Warmachine, which, then makes it confusing because these books that are still on the market, you don't know. But I guess anything that's called Mark something in the rules, that's the old stuff. That's the pre-Steamforged stuff. So they're changing the naming scheme a little bit. Might make it a little more confusing, but we'll see. So yeah. Fantasy Grounds has never. It looked like when I was looking at all of the available when I first picked up Astral, I looked at Fantasy Grounds and Foundry is more tempting because of the single user license. Fantasy Grounds didn't look great interface wise. So, and I'm sure the stability though, what you lose in prettiness, you probably gain in stability. But. Oh no. Carolina's bread got smooshed, so PB&Js are challenging. Matt recommended a PB&J bowl. The KFC style, right? Nice. Uh-oh, did the stream freeze? It did freeze. Sorry. Yeah, we're working on it. It didn't die, did it? Oh, I've still got the chat. Okay. Yeah, maybe we've got a little bit, because we did with our stream last night. We were trying to fix the doubling audio, and the stream died, and then it came back, and so there was, YouTube just automatically picked it up, and we just as this new stream started, we solved the problem. Sounds fun, but yeah, we will see. Sorry about that. Oh no, really? People can't find. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know what's going on recently. I wonder if it's Restream stuff, because Restream seems to be the bottleneck or the problem, because multi-streaming to the different platforms. I think some of the platforms are not supporting Restreaming, multi-streaming. They want you to directly use their tools, directly go to only YouTube or only Twitch and make it a pure stream. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so what was Chris talking about the last few minutes? We were just talking about the platforms and kind of deciding. Yeah, the concern is the kingmakers, one of these VTTs, being able to say what you play and what you don't play. And I think Chris's last point was talking about if there are smaller competitors, it's just possible for, if Roll20 gets big enough or whatever, for them, or even Wizards of the Coast to just buy up their competitors, and then they don't compete anymore. Yes. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, they're adding a lot of physical. Oh, nice. Physical items to the stretch goals for Outgunned. Ah, damn. That's weird. Yeah, it didn't break the... YouTube didn't break, so it stitched it together. Huh. But I'm sure it's hurt everyone has been trying to watch. Well, thanks for hanging in there, guys. Apologies for the technical trouble. It's maybe time to start experimenting with different options, because I can use Streamlabs to multi-stream. There's a couple of different places to go to multi-stream, because Restream just doesn't seem to be doing the trick. Yeah, it still hasn't come. Yeah, what it's previewing on Restream is complete nonsense. Let's see. And did it break on? It didn't break on Twitch either. So maybe just unreachable for a little bit. Sorry about that. All kinds of fun. Yeah, so we're definitely going to have to adjust our thinking with what we're willing. And that should have been, we should have been kind of taught or learned more quickly how to think about using these platforms, and how, like, as soon as that court decision that, legislated that everything that goes on Google, or I guess it was YouTube, everything that goes on YouTube is not the responsibility of Google or Alphabet or whatever. So, now there's publishers and there's platforms, and there's a difference between the liability. Once that thing started happening, we knew that we're going to have to accept kind of abuse as users. They're going to want to exploit us, as much as possible. I can't believe so long before any kind of privacy. I think the EU was even late to the party to try to control data and privacy before everyone was just, everyone was cookied to death, and everything is figured out now. So you can, very, very easily be abused, and you're not doing anything about it. You're not even really thinking in the terms of, do I want to give this platform this ability or this permission, because they just assume you have to. That's the cost, that's the additional cost. And that goes back to the if something is free, then, or if I'm forgetting the words now, someone will know this, but if something has no cost, then you're the product. If you're getting something for free, then that means you're the product. It means they're harvesting your data. They're watching, they're using you for all kinds of, tracking and all kinds of customer information that they will then sell, or training. Now we've got everything being trained to serve you better, to give you more convenience. And yes. So what are we going to be willing to trade for convenience? We'll find out when the chips go in our bodies and all that good stuff. But I don't need a key card to get into work anymore. But they know to the, millisecond how much work I do. Crazy. Yeah, so we'll see with, because I think Fantasy Grounds was always kind of a distant fourth, now a distant third to other platforms that I was looking at, and we'll see if Adam Bradford is able to do what he did for two previous digital platforms, and get them up and going. And maybe his specialty isn't the technical aspects of the VTT, but I think knowing what players want and knowing how to integrate game design and mechanics into a digital space is definitely something he's good at. So yeah, we'll see if the the programmers and the tech that they have at SmiteWorks can make the changes needed. But yeah, I'm really afraid that Demiplane is just going to get absorbed into whatever this amorphous blob of Roll20 is becoming, because they even cited the other the other stuff that they bought to fold in, and it doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound like any of that stuff is going to be a fully functional version of what it was before they bought it. So we'll see. But we've got a new Iron Kingdoms Kickstarter coming. Yeah, that's too bad. Turning on the audio. No. I listen to you guys, or I stream. So yeah, tomorrow. So just technical stuff about our Outguns streamed tomorrow. I just record my system audio to get your Discord audio out on the stream. And so what Craig is recording, or what Discord is recording, is totally different. It's recording your microphone input into Discord. So if you're going to play sounds in Alchemy, that will go out on the stream, but it won't go into the mix of what Craig is recording. So we can put that in post if we do edited versions. Do an edited version of the session. So yeah, everyone will be able to hear. We'll just have to double check. We might have to break, disturb the session a little bit and check in the chat and make sure that the level that the sound effects and background music are going out aren't drowning out our voices on the stream. But other than that, because it's all PC system audio, we'll have to play around with balancing it so the sound effects aren't. And so be careful. Like if it's just a bunch of MP3s and there's a particularly hot clip in there where it's much louder, the gain is much higher than the other clips. Be careful using that, because I won't be able to adjust the audio on the fly very easily. So don't talk over gunfire. You just have to do that pause, like in a book on tape or book on record, and then the bad guy's fired. Bop, 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 bop. You have the sound effect clip play. Yeah, using the pre-gens for the quick start. Nice. Yeah, and I think Matt had a really nice idea. So once we have the full rules, I'm just repeating what Matt's saying in the chat. So Matt said, once we have the full rules for Outgunned Adventure, then we can kind of pick up the torch from these pre-gen characters and move that into the campaign, or move that into our series of cool action adventures. Oh, cool. So Matt said, I slightly modified an early scene so we can have a rivalry thing for the characters they make later on. Nice. Oh, that's great. Good idea. Oh, Matt, always thinking. Nice. Oh, shared audio. I haven't experimented with that. Is that completely implemented now? If watchers, because I can't remember if the watcher thing was completely working. It may be okay, because I think that's if that's Alchemy doing that, it's going to have to output it to my system because I'm a player, and that same mechanism will be outputting it to the because the Discord and Alchemy are totally different how they're getting the sound. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to make that work, whether we have to move away from Discord or whatever we have to do. Once Alchemy is like completely implemented, we'll have to figure out how we can get the spectators there, because it's more direct interaction, because they're seeing it live instead of like a delay like a live stream would be. Nice. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so Two Little Mice. Well, I think because their art assets are so rich, their illustrators are great. And art direction is great, so I think they want the most like graphically rich VTT. So I think Alchemy is a good choice. Nice. Yeah. We'll do some tests. So I'll get online a little bit early and can play around with that and make sure people can hear. We'll have to probably have somebody log in. Maybe one of the players or somebody log in to the spectator side of Alchemy and see what they can hear, because you're going to be making the sound, so maybe I can do that. I'll log out as a player and log in as a spectator. Let's do some testing to make sure people can hear things. Because that would be the only problem is if to get our voice audio on Alchemy we would have to not put it through Discord. That will be a problem, because the nice part of Discord is I can get the audio as separate tracks, and there's very few other solutions to give me separate Audacity tracks for the voice audio coming from the players. So we'll have to figure that out. The other alternative is recording locally and then having those big ass files to upload again. So we shall see. So sorry about the hiccups here. I'm not sure, because I know the internet is solid here. Maybe I should go. I don't think it's going to make. The internet is should be very rock solid here. The actual installation of the audio, so it's going to be on YouTube or restreams and that were hiccuping. Oh, cool. Yeah. Will can be our sound tester. Yeah, that'll help a lot. Oh, cool. On our store, we're selling a blank shirt. Super awesome. Oh, maybe the graphic just didn't render. One of the thumbnails under the video is just a blue shirt. Super cool. I love needy tees. Why is it showing the back as default? Yeah, I guess something screwed up. Yes, order your classic upturned table logo tees. Yeah, I'll have to fix that in. That's funny. It's too bad that they really do limit YouTube is specifically only working with a few different people. Print on demand shirt people to give you the stuff. Too bad. Weird. But well, good. Yes. So just I don't know. I'm not sure. We haven't tested that yet because I didn't think that the Alchemy had totally implemented their stuff yet. We don't know. We'll see. Because streaming software is very funny about that. Like Discord, if you've got your audio going into Discord or not Discord, OBS. If you get your audio going into OBS, you can't get it out. And video is the same. If you get your video going into OBS, you can't put it in two places at once. But that's for streaming because I think that's much more, CPU, and it's much more intensive. They don't want you to try to. They just try to probably protect the quality of the rendered video. This particular mug isn't. I just did a default. The upturn, the flat, the table flat on the floor. Mug is up there, but I will get this design. Yeah, I just have to. Each of the stores have a slightly different, aspects, proportions for the graphics. So I have to make an adjustment to the one that I was using for Gelato to get it up there. But yeah, it will be. The mug will be there, and other nonsense. I'm trying not to put too much stuff. Just do like a shirt and a mug with each of the designs, so it doesn't get too silly. But yeah, we should be good. Should be good. Yes, sorry about the. I realized that Chris was doing a good job of kind of staying on mic, but I was just like, maybe you didn't even hear off mic. We just like rooting in containers of bits, looking for the right head or the right legs. But it should be fun. I'm going to have all kind of classic 90s Citadel minis for my my wacky warband, and I'm going to paint them, odd. So there'll be old school Skaven, old school Orc, and Barbarian Chaos, Barbarian stuff. So it should be fun. The old guys, the old-fashioned folks. Yeah, versus the new modern. All of Chris's stuff will be nice looking matching stuff. So we'll see. Yeah, but I'll paint them nice and cruddy though to get the whole effect across. Nice. Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about the views aren't significant. I just like that people can watch on a platform that they are familiar with. So I like multi-streaming, but I don't think I want Alchemy to work because I think those tools will be good, and I think they're probably going to implement some fun tools for interacting with chat. So like when we take a break or something in the middle of the session, we can actually jump on chat and stuff. So no, don't worry about that. That's not a problem. The we're not talking about numbers big enough for any of our live streams for it to be a difference. Just want people to see the actual play however they want to, and if they like doing it through Alchemy, let's definitely make that possible. Yeah, but I'm sure there'll be some. If it's still under development, if things are still technically all in beta, there'll be some figuring out to do. We'll get it working, and then some update will make it unwork. Thanks, Matt, for suggesting that. I can't believe how big that Outgunned Adventure campaign is doing. I think they're doing a good job, and it's looking just really fun. And that's the thing that I think the game has an advantage, because stuff that's doing OSR or doing grimdark or whatever, there's like politics and stuff that are coming into it, and people have opinions, kind of preconceived notions. And I think Two Little Mice just doing a fun, this is an action game, you use adrenaline, you're rolling to get pairs and triples and four of a kind. I think that's fun, and it's it's not D20, and it's taking it away from all the complaints that gamers have about stuff, modern and old school gamers have. So I think that's fun, and they deserve their success. They do good products. I mean, Chris even said that was the first thing. So I lent Chris the physical books for Outgun, and the first thing she said is, damn, these are well-produced books. They're really, really nice. The end papers and they go all out, even just with the smaller digest-sized books. They do nice finishes. All the music is from Alchemy, so it shouldn't have any copyright strikes. Good. Yeah, and that's again too. That's not a big deal. If we can't monetize the stream, I would just at least want it out there, because we can always do an edited version and take out the music. So whatever you want to do on the stream, because like our Christmas Christmas stream had goddamn Jingle Bells that we couldn't stop getting strikes on. Everybody owns a version of Jingle Bells, it seems. So we should it's not a big deal. I just enjoy that we can do it, that we can meet so regularly and play so many games. So if you're looking for Dune shall return. But in the meantime, we've got a fun, pulpy Outgun adventure quick start to play. So you guys can see a different game system, and a game system that you can back. The campaign's still going to be going on, so there'll be a week or so still to take a look at that after you hear us tear each other apart. So I got to practice my catchphrase. In the mirror, I'm going to practice my catchphrase. Yeah, the funny thing for the so if I'm still playing the professor, the professor's catchphrase is "There's got to be another way," and that reminded me so much of the infomercial, the late night infomercial. There's got to be a better way, like someone trying to break an egg or somebody trying to cut a tomato. So I'll refrain from infomercial references, but I like that his catchphrase is "There's got to be another way." He's always improving. Yes, yeah, I can't wait to see how those work. Oh, Big Zam is on my t-shirt tonight. Gundam. I love this t-shirt because they didn't do that thing. They did a light enough color that they just printed the color straight on it and didn't do that white outline kind of background thing. So the picture is sunken into the ink of the t-shirt, and you don't have that plasticky. It's just the dye in the shirt. So yeah, this is the Big Zam and the Gundam showdown from the anime. Nice. Oh yeah, so yeah. I was imagining, because I even was reading the introduction of the quick start. It was saying, yeah, this isn't even the full rules. We're not even giving you everything. So I'll have my book and PDF handy, so we can refer to things if you're adding any stuff in. Oh no, went to the website. Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the thanks, Carolina. Yes, so sorry, I put that on Redbubble. That's why. That didn't go on Teespring. So the one that's linked, unfortunately, because they control the universe here. Yeah, so sorry. Unfortunately, that I couldn't do, or I can upload a duplicate of it. But when I first designed you want to enjoy the rambling segment. So Redbubble has the banter and ramble shirt. I'll put that design over on Spring. I just whatever was available on this computer, I just popped onto the Teespring store, because you had to create the store to then link it, and I was just getting it linked, and then later on I'll get all the designs that are up there. Yeah, Redbubble has a couple of other earlier designs, like a bunch of little tiny tables and stuff. A couple of like just when I first designed the logo stuff I was playing around with. So there'll be a huge variation of stuff. But yeah, Redbubble, and I think Redbubble is pretty decent quality. They might have superior quality over Teespring. That's why I kind of went with them. But yeah, I like this look. I wish you could get more print-on-demand shirt people to do this. Say if the shirt's not black, if it's a light enough color, print without the white for the first pass of white, because I hate that like real plasticky transfer kind of feeling on shirts. That used to be all that they were. There's lots of Come for the Banter merch. You can get a glossy sticker, a transparent sticker, a framed art print. Oh, yes, it is such a good design. Yeah. But Redbubble has a lot of, and I think their stuff, a lot of the print on demand is more mainstream, like, baby onesies and bibs and, a lot of stuff. But I think Redbubble has more in mind of like what people want to produce for conventions, or, what they would want to produce for a shop. If they were an artist, they have a better, and I think that's why, I think Free League uses them. Free League and one of the other guys, they put their like official art prints and t-shirts on Redbubble. So it's decent quality. I haven't ever gotten something from Teespring, so I'm not sure, but I've heard it's okay. But yeah, I'll order samples of everything, so we get some good ideas. Oh yeah, and we are, I don't know why it crashed, but we are streaming. I don't know. We were. I think it looks like it kind of crashed or something. We were kind of streaming to Instagram. Maybe that's what gave out on us. I started the stream on Upturned Table Instagram, and no, it didn't. It didn't go. It didn't take. I don't know what the deal is with that. And maybe they really only want you to do it with their phone. What if I can stream to Threads? If those are linked. No, but I think everything is going to be like this. So you're going to get the chat. You're going to get a conversation over chat. Nice. But yeah, it's good to see everybody, and come back. Yeah, if you are around, come back tomorrow, and give Alchemy a shot too. We're going to try to get Alchemy working. So create a free account and log in on Alchemy if you want to be in on that chat. I don't know. It's going to be hard. I mean, that's a hard thing. Is monitoring chat while playing a session is rough. So we can't be very interactive. Like once we started the game, we can't be super interactive, which is the only kind of frustrating part. Nice. Yeah, and that's so cool. They definitely, Two Little Mice are definitely going all in on Alchemy, because they're giving the modules for that platform away to everybody that pledges for any version of Outgunned. So you'll have the all the Outgunned content up there. That will be good, especially if you can't meet face to face. That's a cool option. Yes, so we'll do a little testing, little technical shenanigans before we start, and see what our options are. And we'll post. We can either post on the community tab for YouTube, or just in the chat once we get started, to kind of let you know what the options are, and maybe some links. If you go here for Alchemy, go here for Twitch, and here for just to get you guys in. And then if that becomes our usual platform, then we'll just put links in the description on all the live streams for where to go to see the best version of everything. Well, cool. Yeah, so we're going to try to meet as often as possible to get some Forbidden Psalm in. And those games go pretty quick, so I don't think we'll get cut off or anything. I think we'll finish scenarios pretty easily with the few hours we have after work. And you'll get to see some old school Citadel miniatures. The yellowy aging plastic. I think it's actually some of the glue and stuff that's yellowed. But cool. Yep, so tune in tomorrow, and thanks everyone for being here. Nice. Oh, nice. Matt's got all kinds of Foley stuff going. That'll be great, especially for the kind of pulpy adventure. I got to hear the tigers roar and everything else. Or I guess I don't know what country we're in, but nice. Yeah, referring to chat. Yeah, Matt says, I don't think we're really going to be able to doing chat during the game, because it breaks immersion, and especially right. Matt's running the game for the first time, so that'll be way too distracting. So Matt said, still able to set up the pre-stream link? Yes, I will. As soon as I stop this stream, I'll set up a link, and I'll just set it for our usual start time. And I don't think we have to stick to that. Like, I don't think we're forced to stick to that starting. And it may go live just with the YouTube the default graphic on YouTube, but nothing else will start until we then turn the stream on. So yeah, and then I'll be able to give you that link. So I'll schedule a stream and give you the link. Nice. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Redbubble is in the description. Yes, that silly the pictures underneath of navy colored t-shirts are I don't even know. What are they doing? Nice. Oh, here we go. Hey, late more compliments on the Blade Runner for Matt, Will, and Terry. Outstanding effort on the Blade Runner. Some great roleplay choices by the players. A real dynamic wrap-up. Really felt like tech noir Blade Runner. Excellent. Thank you, Digital Moon Books. Very cool. Yeah, we keep getting happy feedback on Blade Runner. That's so nice. So got to keep editing our actual plays. I'm gonna just chain myself to a desk and just get through it. Nice. All right. Oh, Agent Caroline said, I'd rather have it in a giant coffee mug, but afraid it would break during shipping. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, most of the print-on-demand guys are pretty good. Their packaging for coffee mugs is pretty good. The handle is kind of really well secured in the packaging. But yeah, you're right. That's always the first thing. If it's just in a square box, that's the first thing that breaks when they chuck the package, across the delivery center. Yes, the handle. Nice. All right. Yeah, really. I think everyone that's given us nice feedback. It's so good to see. Sometimes we'll get like rules corrections. Oh yeah, we did. I think somebody noticed that. I think in the kind of shootout in the office at the end of Case File 2, Perez had body armor on, and we never rolled your body armor. So we had to remember that. I think at the beginning of the first session, you're like, and he buys body armor and he puts on body armor, and I don't think we ever rolled for your body armor. Oh, that's right. We got to approach Stanley Cup for. Oh man, yeah, I see all the American streamers lifting up their Stanley Cups. So funny. See, I was trying to kill you. Yes, it was defective body armor. Obviously, there's no point in rolling for it because trying to kill you. Yeah, so that would have changed. So I think that would have changed because you would have rolled 2 dice, and probably some of those criticals wouldn't have gone off as criticals. So yeah, thank you in the comments for noticing that we completely ignored Perez's body armor. I don't think we did it the whole time, but we did it during really crucial parts. Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good idea, Calarian. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that. I think I have the press email for Free League. I'll send them that list and maybe put it in some of the, because I haven't been keeping up with putting it on like forums and subreddits and stuff. But I'll put the list on there and see if they pick it up, or at least see if people will notice it, even if they don't pick it up. And some more people that like Blade Runner will notice. Very good idea. I will get on that. We should definitely interview the Two Little Mice guys. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, from the live streams, they do seem really nice. That is true. Yeah, if we can do that on Discord video or something, we should give that a shot. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way. Now with Zencastr out of the picture, with it being such a frustrating platform to use, not using Zencastr hurts a lot because I really like their cloud backup and their video and audio separated and everything. But you'll have to find a good platform. So we'll have to figure out for the gray noise what we're going to do. I don't have an option. I thought Restream recorded to the cloud, but it doesn't it does, but you have to live stream. Like you can't record locally or directly to cloud. You have to live stream and then it backs up the live stream on cloud. But yeah, Two Little Mice would be fun to talk to. I can't wait to find out what else they're working on. but I think they're going to keep working on Outgunned with this kind of success. I don't think they should. I don't think they should slow down. Well, very cool. So we'll be back for some Outgunned adventure. So temple temple raiding, and I don't know what we're going to be doing, but we're going to be trying that new system. I'm really excited to see how it plays. Nice. Oh, nice. So many action flicks. Yeah, that would be really fun to jump through a bunch of different genres, because all we have to do is change our character sheets for the most part. So we're flying a spaceship instead of a convertible. Oh, okay. I just looked at the beginning. No, I didn't get into the adventure at all. I just got into the they're introducing what rules were there and what weren't, because I'm not sure what the difference is between vanilla, Outgunned, and adventure, the adventure genre. But I have not peeked. I haven't seen anything into the adventure. All right. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna win. I read the whole adventure. I'm definitely gonna win this one. All right. So we'll be back again soon. Thanks everybody. Thank you to the patrons and members on the YouTube channel. I don't thank you enough in the videos. I got to keep my screens. I haven't been doing more unboxings and things, but I'll make sure that I get thank yous up there, because we really appreciate the support. So you can become a member at the join button, or patreon.com/upturntable. And there's exclusive content on there. And I think we're going to have to eventually get some exclusive live streams and stuff once we get a big enough member base. That would be fun to do streams only for members, that kind of stuff. So take care, everyone. Good to see you. Carolina, Matt, Calarion, everybody in chat. And Abyss last night, thank you for the moderation and saying, you guys sound terrible, 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 terrible with your doubling. And take care and see you again soon. Goodbye.